James Ernest of the Gruel and Truth Radio Network here with Taz Wallace, the author of The Game That Almost Broke Me. Taz, tell us, how'd you fall in love with originally the game of football?
Football was a way for me to, it was a release for me. Growing up, I needed to be involved with something. And I just fell in love with the game of football. Had the opportunity to, for me it was about having the ability to release some aggression, and, football allowed me to do that.
Who was your biggest influence on the field?
Well, I've always, when he played before he retired, I always enjoyed watching Ray Lewis. Thought he was a great linebacker, played the game at a high level, and I really enjoyed watching his passion for the game of football.
You had several, inspirational people off the field, your mom and your grandmother. Tell us about how they impacted your life off the field and inspired you on the field.
Well, my grandmother and my mom have just been, my grandmother passed away last May, but very, very strong, independent women who, I just learned hard work in my household. We're going to act a certain way. We're going to respect adults. We're going to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. And that's how I was raised. So the impact they had on me and my character was absolutely it's huge. To know how I should go about my business and how I should treat other people. And growing up in the South, the most valuable lesson I learned was it didn't matter what a person looked like or where they came from. My mom always told me you judge people on how they treat you and how they treat the people around you. And from a football perspective, I just wanted to be great. I just wanted to be the best. And that kind of translates from how I was raised to a hard, working hard, being able to work with other people, caring about people. And I kind of just took that to the game of football. And, I wanted to be the best player that I could be. And relationships matter to me. So, from growing up to playing the game of football, all those things kind of came back full circle.
That's the nice thing about the book, that it's not just about football. Like you said, it's about relationships. It's about how that, you can impact people's lives, and just it's very inspirational. Was that an intentional message to the young readers?
Absolutely. I wanted to impact and inspire young people. There's another me out there somewhere today. And, I wanted to let them know that, it's bigger than just football. Life is truly about relationships, in my opinion. That's what I believe. And, I wanted to show a side of me that a lot of people have never seen, and open up. And for people to say, you know what, I can. I'll make it happen. I'll find a way. Things will be hard. I'll go through some adversity. People are going to tell me no, but I'll find a way to be successful in life. And, that can apply to any person. And, young people today, I think they need to hear that because, a lot of times when we deal with adversity today and our younger kids, the first thing they do is quit. And, having the ability to read my story, it's my wish that they're inspired by my story and walk away saying I can do whatever I want in life and be successful.
What was the most difficult part about growing up in the South?
I'll be completely honest with you. I did not grow up in a household that was divided, but, something that was very relevant is racism, and it exists. And my mom, again, raised me to love all people. And I think that's something that really stood out to me. And in my area that I grew up in, it wasn't a lot of people who, went on to do certain things. We looked up to guys. Most people thought you either die or you go to jail. Those are the only way out. And for me, I had to look outside of it. I had to come up with my own plan, my own agenda. And I wasn't going to be defined by the environment that I grew up in. I was going to be defined by my choices. And that's something that
At what point, when you were in high school, did you feel that you were going to be able to go to college and go to the next level?
You know, I've always been very confident in my ability. But as I started to progress through college, and after my sophomore season in college, I started to get a lot of attention. A lot of people were reaching out, and we started to hear a little noise during that time. And from that moment on, I just knew that was always my dream. Since 9 years old, to play at college and then go on and play at the next level. So I always had it in my mind that that's what I was going to do. And in college, those things started to become very real. Once I've had an opportunity to hear from professional teams and things like that, things started to really become real. And at that moment, I realized I have to go and get it. I have to do it now. Because, the window was very small in terms of the opportunities to play at the next level.
You had played in a wide variety of places. Some people, of course, everyone's going to say, the NFL is your best spot. But where were some of the other ones that you really enjoyed?
I'll be honest with you. Playing in the Arena League, it wasn't part of my plan, but I walked away with very, very valuable relationships, guys that I still talk to today. In fact, one of the guys that I met during my time in the Arena League, he came into my wedding in Michigan all the way from Utah. And that meant the world to me, that we had built a relationship so strong that it was so important to him, and you're talking about coming from Utah, renting a car and then driving 5 hours from the airport to get to my wedding. So I would say the Arena League, the relationships I built in the Arena League were just absolutely amazing, and I'm still thankful for those relationships today.
They refer to life as an unfair game. How do people make life more fair?
I think about just dealing with adversity. I think you create the fairness by how you respond to certain things that take place in your life. Life is tough. Life is hard. You're going to go through some things. It's not fair. I think you balance out the playing field by how you respond to adversity and how you go about your business on a daily basis. And understanding, identifying, and then dominating your purpose. Whatever it is in your life, make sure you go out and dominate it. And I think that's how you even the playing field and make life fair. And sometimes when I say fair, I don't mean because another person gets something, you deserve that. I'm talking about what you go on and earn. And I think it's very important for us to identify our purpose and then go dominate our purpose.
So it's more about focusing inward about what you can change, not what others can affect.
Absolutely, because we're all dealt a certain hand, and we have an opportunity. We can't control the event. We can't control where we're born and raised. However, we can control how we respond to adversity, how we respond. When people tell us no, we can control. What life choices we make, and I think when we as people have that mentality and that mindset, I think our outcomes are far greater than the ones when we go out and we just expect that people owe us something, or we expect for people to do whatever we want them to do and tell us yes all the time, even when things may not seem like that they're reasonable. So I think it's really important for us to just go out and be the best person that we can be, and really identify our abilities, our strengths, and our weaknesses, and still work to improve on those things.
What have you been up to post-football?
Well, I've been very blessed. I'm currently serving as a success coach and a head football coach. I'm also doing public speaking. I had an opportunity to speak last Friday. It was last Wednesday in Muskegon, Michigan. I had an opportunity to speak to the kids at the Muskegon All-Star Classic. It was a 6-hour round trip. It was a action-packed day, but it was a great opportunity to go out and speak to those young men about the game that almost broke me, about my journey, and about what I'm doing today in my life.
I hear you also have a barbershop.
Well, that was something, a venture we attempted a few years ago. It was very, very difficult to find people that wanted to work. So we walked away from that, and it was an experience and something I don't regret, but because I grew from it, I learned a lot. But it was something we walked away from because of the lack of people that were willing to work and to create their own business, so to speak.
I know what you mean. Trying to find the people dedicated enough to, because that's kind of the thing with a business like that, where you're giving them the opportunity to get their own clients, and you pay for the space, but they have to do the work. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Absolutely.
So with the speaking engagements, where else do they have you going?
I recently spoke back in the fall. I spoke to another football team. I have an event next month, and it's in Farmington Hills, Michigan. I have another event coming up here in the near future. Where I'm going to be speaking to young men that have been incarcerated, young men and women who have been in drug court. So it's been great. I have another opportunity to speak in August at a benefit for a young man that passed away in a car accident. So I'm going to be speaking in August. So things have been filling up really fast. I'm very fortunate for the opportunities I've been given. And I'm just I'm looking to connect and impact and inspire as many people as possible and continue to build relationships.
That is great. I mean, that's one of those big things that, get overlooked, it seems, nowadays, that how we can have impact on other people's lives and change them and help them to achieve their goals. And obviously you achieved your goal of making it to the NFL. Other than achieving the goal of the NFL, what was your biggest achievement in life so far?
Oh, just being a dad, being an active dad. I have two beautiful girls, a beautiful wife, but, those are the things that are really important to me today. Being a father is more important than any tackle I've ever made. I want my girls to grow up and be independent, strong, confident, and understand that, things are going to be hard in life. My wife and I are going to continue to have high expectations for them because we don't know any other way. And but yeah, that's my most proud moment is being a father, but not just a father, but an active father, and being involved in my kid's life. And that's the most important thing to me. And I'm constantly trying to be the best husband and the best father every single day. And those things go a long way. And I just really enjoy being a father to my girls.
Do you plan on writing any other books?
It's possible that I'm going to write a second book. Maybe, I'm not sure the timeline. Been really busy with the game that almost broke me, and continuing to have speaking engagements. So it's certainly a possibility in the near future.
If fans are wanting to find more about you, if they're wanting to go to one of your presentations on social media, on the web, where's the best place to learn more about you?
My website is TazWallace.com. That's TAZ Wallace.com. All the information that they may be looking for is there. I have started a Dominate Your Purpose mindset. There's some information on the website in regards to Dominate Your Purpose. And the books there's more information about me on the website as well. There's contact information for anyone that's interested in speaking engagements. But there's a lot of information at TazWallace.com.
Excellent. I'd like to thank our guest today, Taz Wallace, the author of The Game That Almost Broke Me. Any final thoughts before we let you go, Taz?
I encourage people to go out and dominate their purpose. And, hope is for average people. Work is for those striving for greatness. The Game That Almost Broke Me can be found at all major online stores, including Amazon, iBooks. And just go your purpose, be great, and spread love.
Thank you. Great message. Definitely, the dominating your purpose and spreading love, because people don't do that enough nowadays. People will kind of look more inward and avoid others, but we can change the world one person at a time. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.